During this pandemic, outings have dwindled down to the essentials, and for many, that includes church. Here at Mission Hill, navigating how to return back to church safely has been of top priority. With the Honors Digital Video class, I'm Mary McAnnally. Pastor Paul gives us insight into how COVID has affected the church.
Pastoring during the pandemic has been unlike anything I've experienced in nearly 30 years. For not only myself, but for most of my peers, it's been the most challenging time because it's not just been the pandemic. In addition to the pandemic, we've had a very contentious election. We've battled in our culture kind of racial tension, and then all the challenges of the pandemic. So it's been very stressful. Our season, we became a completely online church. Fortunately, we were already online, so that was easy to adjust. Then when we started back in June, I would say we started at about 30% of our pre-COVID attendance. We've watched that climb, and now we would probably be in the 75 to 80% of that pre-COVID attendance. The reality is, since Easter particularly, Easter was like a big comeback. Much of the population had begun to receive vaccines, and I think people in their minds had begun to target Easter. And really, even the weeks following Easter, we've seen increased attendance as more and more people have come through that period of their vaccines.
Attendance has increased steadily from the start of the year until now.
Yeah, so we've taken this serious. We know that this is a real deal that has impacted people's lives. And so we certainly encouraged the use of masks. We social distanced. We changed the location, the venue of where we gathered for worship from our primary worship center to our family life center so that we could separate space even more clearly with chairs.
Staff and volunteers have prioritized time and money into implementing safety measures.
For just our Sunday morning just worship services, that's kind of something I've just been really trying to help with and task with. I have some volunteers that help me, and so what we do is we try to seat different groups of people. So if a family walks in of 2 people, we'll seat them down. We leave 2 to 3 seats on either side open next to them, again, just to provide some of that space. We have some extra room between rows as well, just to, again, just try and facilitate the extra space for safety.
Even though safety measures were in place, each individual feels differently on when to return back.
So coming to church during COVID-19, I have felt more secure the longer we've been doing it. At first it was a little nerve-wracking. People were making sure they were staying very far apart and wearing their masks and being super secure. But after a while, especially with the introduction of the vaccine, people have been feeling a lot more comfortable, and I have as well.
Last Sunday was our first Sunday back for Sunday school and Family Life Center Church. And we've been listening to it online for a whole year being gone. And we had both vaccines, and we had no symptoms whatsoever. We've gotten along beautiful with God's help.
According to Barna research, 1 in 3 practicing Christians had stopped attending church in person in July 2020. Mission Hill has taken every measure possible for people to return safely.
But I say most people wear masks at church. I think it depends on the church that you go to. At Mission Hill, yes, a lot of people wear masks. At my home church, not as many people do.
The mask policy follows something similar to like a restaurant. So I think a lot of people wear their masks when they walk in. Kind of when they get to their seat and they get comfortable, they usually take the mask off. And then when they get up to leave at the end of the day, then they usually put the mask back on.
We spent extra resources sanitizing our facilities. We have encouraged people to wear masks. We have done the distancing. We're looking at how we gather in appropriate ways. And so I would say, just as you're feeling safe going to Publix or you're feeling safe going out to other events, this is one of the safer places that you could come because we've given a lot of attention to the gathering. And in fact, we're doing things that we had never heard of. Between our services, we're spraying the entire room that we gather to worship in with a high-powered sanitation system. And so absolutely, I think this is a safe place.
But I think one of the things we were able to do just through the pandemic is it allows us to really be able to serve our community even more than normal. And so even throughout the pandemic, we were almost weekly providing food boxes for free just to families to pull up. And so again, it was just a great opportunity for us just to serve and love our community and let them know we're here and we're praying for them.
They have taken this as an opportunity to grow.
The challenges of life always give us opportunities to go forward with greater strength. You may have heard me say that every setback is an opportunity for our comeback. And so as I look at what we've gone through this last year in church, as I mentioned a moment ago, there's been all kinds of things that have affected church. That's exciting for me as a leader, to think that we have navigated a challenge, and now we have the opportunity to walk through in an overcoming kind of way. So I look forward to what the future holds.